All right, I'm live. I'm Mike Caton from Ace Method Coaching, and this is my weekly show where I take of the video requests that I get in. I choose 5 of them and I review them for free. Just so you'll know, I get a lot of these, so I just choose the ones that I think are going to be beneficial. Let's see here. What else do you need to know? That's really it. I have a new video coming out tomorrow that's going to be called off-season hurdle training. Okay, and along with that, there's a link. Well, basically, it gives you my thoughts on what you should be doing in the off season. The reason why is because I'm in the U.S. Most of my traffic is from the U.S., but not all of it. And in the U.S., high schoolers are just, some of them have finished their season a week or so ago. Some of them are finishing up in a week or so. Like in the Midwest, the state championships, a lot of them are next week. So some people who had a season and they are saying, I want to get better next year. They're starting to think about, what am I going to do next year? So I put together a video that walks you through that. And I also created it's actually what I did is I took the things that I've done with all my hurdlers throughout the years, even some multiple state champions, and I put that together and I kind of made a generic version of that and put it on my website where you can download it. So if you want to plan to get better in the off season so that you can come back next year and be at a whole new level for your hurdling, that's what you want to do. So spread the word for that. Okay, so that's really it. Another thing is because things are slowing down, typically what happens is less people, since they're not in season anymore, are not sending me videos to the speed that they were sending them at me during the season. So if you're somebody who finished your season and now you're looking forward to next season, throughout the summer and the fall is when I get less requests for videos. So it's a better chance that I'm going to be able to review your video if you start sending them to me now and later. Just know that, okay? That's really it. I'm going to jump into, sorry, I keep saying that's it, but there's always more. If you see this and you're wondering, how do I get my video reviewed? You go to my website at acemethodcoaching.com. There's under the free stuff section, there's a thing that says hurdle review, technique review, something like that, and do it for free. You can click on that. You'll see the instructions on how you can send me your video. Okay. I also have a hurdle technique cheat sheet and a few other freebies on there. And like I said, I just added the off-season training program to that as well. But know that if you're watching this right now and you want to send me a video right now, I won't be reviewing it today. It'll has the chance of getting on next week. That's the way it goes. But if you want to leave me a question, once I finish reviewing these 5 videos today, I'm going to bounce back out here to look into the chat and see if I have any questions waiting for me, and I'll try to do my best to answer them, and we'll go from there. All right, without further ado, let me change my screen. Okay, so 5 videos. 4 of them are U.S. high schoolers who are all finishing up their sophomore year in high school by coincidence. Except this one here. This is a guy that connected with me. He's not from U.S. I don't know where this is exactly. I'm going to guess India or something like that. I find this really fascinating that he's hurdling, I think it's the grass or dirt. I can't really tell for sure. Okay. But all I know is he's 18 years old. His name I'm not clear on because the only name I got was his Instagram name, which you know those are hard to tell what the person's name is from that. And he's unhappy with his trail leg. But let me take a look. You know what, this might have some sound on it. Okay, so I can see that you're good. Let me see the other video. This is in the same place, just a different day, different angle. Okay, I'm going to go to the other one because you had mentioned your trail leg, and I can see your trail leg better on this side since you're a right-legged lead. So overall, you are good, no doubt about it. You do, though, have a pattern to your hurdling, you know, a specific rhythm that you've probably been doing for a while. And I'll address that in a little bit. Let me see what I can see about this trail leg you're wondering about. The trail leg actually looks pretty good. Looks like you have good mobility in your hips. You are too high over the hurdle though, for sure. Well too high over the hurdle. And that might be your issue because you're keeping your trail leg tucked really nicely. When you finish though, it's lower than it would be, but it could be because it took a while for you to land off your hurdle and then your trail leg dropped a little bit. Had you been lower off that hurdle and you can come hit the ground closer to the hurdle, your knee probably would have been higher. Let me see if I can see anything here. Okay, you're also, because of your height over the hurdle, reaching the peak of your jump too late. You're reaching your peak about right here, here, and it should be about right here, and then you start coming down on the hurdle. So you're floating a little bit too long, mostly because you're going too high. Your trail leg is actually really good, but I think that it's just a little bit slow, like pulling a little slowly through, because this look right here is really good. Actually, it's actually pretty good. Now, I think your trail leg is actually pretty good. I think your issue is more your height over the hurdle. And the other thing as I was getting ready to comment on is about the rhythm that I see in your hurdling. So if you are full height and full spacing at practice here, I would suggest pinching them in, dropping it down so that you can change your rhythm a little bit. You know, just to get quicker, start training your legs to be quicker over the hurdles and quicker between the hurdles. That way you can race that way too. Okay, it's a good strategy. All right, moving on to the next one. Okay, this girl here, I think the first letter is a I. So it would be like Ia Shanita. Yeah. So 10th grade, second year hurdling, but does not have a hurdle coach. So she's been teaching herself. Says she's having a hard time dropping her time, struggling with 3 steps, and thinks her form is off. She is the athlete in this video that is closest to us. So she's in lane 7. Let me move this. And she does get last place here. 1, 2, 3, Okay, so, all right. Basically, I don't know what your, like what you've been watching. But if you are new to me, I'm going to recommend some things for you, which is, if you want something free, go through my video series on YouTube. It's my hurdle coaching series, right? So go through those, imagining I'm coaching you, or you want to learn as a coach how to coach yourself. That's a whole series of videos I put together that show you how to structure practices, how to do things. Another video some videos that you might want to check out would be how to 4-step and then how to 3-step. And they're all out there on my channel. I also have some more recent videos I've put out in the last several weeks about being too high over the hurdle, why you can't 3-step, things like that. All those paint a picture. Now, if you want the best thing, it's in my store. It's my Hurdling 101 and my Hurdling 201. And I know you've been hurdling for 2 seasons, so I don't want to insult you. But definitely there's some things you'd pick up. So let me tell you the high level concept that I want you to learn here is that hurdling is a sprint, right? The girls here that are going faster, if you watch them, they are sprinting, right? So versus running slow. And what you're doing is not sprinting, it's taking 5 baby steps, right? Which is so common for young hurdlers. But what you need to learn how to do is 3-step. And so this is what is taught in those videos that I showed you and also my 101. The concept is this. You find a spacing that you can 3-step at. Even if it is half the spacing of this, it's not going to be. Let's say that it is, because I can tell you, if I were to stand at this hurdle and walk to this hurdle, it would take me 12 steps to get there. I always do things, I don't measure things out. So it would take me 12 steps to get there. What I would do for you is I would put your hurdles at about 8 walking steps, and I would have you practice 3-stepping over that. Very quickly, that's going to become too easy, and you're going to feel like they're too bunched up. Then what I would do is I would go out one walking step farther, right? And just keep gradually expanding it. You might even need to just spread it out by a foot each time or 6 inches each time, whatever works for you. And every time it feels a little challenging, you stay at that level for a while. And then you learn how to 3-step at that spacing until it becomes easy. Then you spread it out again. Then you keep doing this. And once you get to the point where you are 12 to 24 inches, safely I used to say 12 to 18 inches, but possibly 12 to 24 inches away from the official race spacing, you will be ready to go into a meet and 3-step it, because you will now know how to 3-step. So basically you have to break this pattern that you have of taking small, slow steps, because you're not gaining any speed. And by not having any speed, you can't actually learn how to hurdle properly. So that's what you need to do. Okay, I hope that helps. Moving on to Jordan. Okay, Jordan, 10th grader, first year hurdling, can't maintain 3 steps. Let me see something. Okay. I'm going to watch your race videos first, Jordan. I have a thought And I want to check it out before I say anything. Jordan is the person here with the green uniform in lane 2. Okay. And here again. Going to be here in lane, I think, 6. Also the green uniform. So a 4-stepper. Pretty good 4-stepper, actually. You've done a great job of learning how to do that. And then when I watch you here, solo at practice, nice setting. Let me see that again. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so Jordan's saying I can't maintain my 3 steps. Okay. Jordan, I'm gonna say this, and it could come across painful, and I don't mean that. In fact, sometimes I see videos like this and I actually hesitate selecting them because I don't want to say something hurtful. But let me tell you what I think your issue is. I think it's not your hurdling. I think it's your speed. When I watch the way you move, I'm not convinced that right now the way you're running is fast enough to be able to maintain 3 steps, right? Because your hurdling is actually not bad. If I saw something really bad, and I'd be able to say, oh, here's the reason why. But your hurdling is not bad. And your steps between the hurdles are not bad. I mean, your plant step here is on the better half of what I see from sophomore hurdlers. This is, I think, your non-dominant leg. Yeah. You're not having a braking action on the downside. You are a bit high over the hurdle, but every hurdler is. High school hurdler is. Definitely better on your left side. So let me just say this. Because I don't know. I don't know what you run 100 meters without a hurdle. And I can say this. And I've never had any coach tell me I'm wrong on this. And nobody's ever done a study on this. I think, though, if you can't run 100 meters in definitely under 12 and a half seconds, possibly 12 seconds, that you will have a very hard time being a 3-stepper, okay? And I don't see evidence that you're fast enough to do that. And it might be that 4-stepping is what you need to do. And in that case, you just need to just get better and better at it. And that would be getting lower over the hurdle, okay? Now, let's say that you are fast enough, or maybe let's say that you're close, or maybe you just need more training on how to become faster, and then you could get faster and then 3-step. So even if you're not fast enough right now, I'm not going to say you can't ever 3-step. I'm going to be really clear about that. I'm just saying I don't know if today you're a 3-stepper. So keep that in mind. So what I would do is this off season is I would focus on speed, right? I would learn. Feel free to reach out to me if you don't have resources in your area to do speed development. But I would do that, whether that's strength and power training, whether that's learning sprint technique, things like that, to spend your time between now and next year getting really good at that. And I think you can come back as a much improved hurdler and probably three-stepping. Another idea is I just mentioned at the top of this show that I'm putting out on Sunday, tomorrow. In fact, if you want to get it today, it's available on my website as of last night or maybe this morning, where you can download an off-season training plan, which talks about all this stuff and gives you workouts and stuff like that. So one of those things are going to help you, but that's what I would work on. Yeah. But I want to give you something. Let me see here. I'm going to go back to this hurdle because this is your dominant leg. Actually, I'm going to go back to your practice. Nope, that's not you. Okay, here's what I can tell you. You are too open with your lead leg. Okay, this is definitely a problem and pretty significant. And I have a video that I just made. I was going to put it out tomorrow, but now I've pushed it back on the calendar. But it's about the lead leg. The problem with your lead leg is it's too open. Your heel should be up by your butt, even to here, and right here at the point where your your thigh is parallel to the ground, which is right here. Your lower leg should still be angled back, right? So it should be back here and your foot right here. The fact that you have yours out here is slowing you down, okay? So maybe I spoke too soon. I don't know that I did, but it's possible that this is really slowing you down because everything else looks okay. You're landing not great here. You are definitely leaping into this last hurdle, putting on the brakes, and then jumping too high with too straight of a lead leg. And both of those things kill your speed. So, like I told you, I had two options for you. I have three options now. Option one is maybe you don't have the speed. Option two is maybe you just need to work on learning how to sprint better and get the speed. Option three is maybe you do, but you're doing some technical things that are cutting your speed off at every hurdle, which is making it hard for you. And they're your plant step and then your lead leg. So I would work on both of those. I'd love to hear back from you to see how this goes. Okay. All right. Moving on to Logan. Hey, by the way, people, if you're watching this and you're thinking, I want to get this, I do virtual coaching sessions. Like right here, I'm spending maybe 5 minutes with each person. My virtual coaching session, typically 20 to 30 minutes on each person, really diving deep, trying to analyze as much as I can, answer all their questions, and give them as much feedback and resources as possible. So definitely a worthy investment. And it is guaranteed to help. And I say guaranteed for two reasons. Literally, everybody I've ever spoken to comes back and says it helped them a lot. And also a guarantee because if you didn't like it a lot, I'll give your money back, and nobody has ever asked for a refund. Okay, so now I'm looking at Zach. Zach is the guy with the white shirt in lane 8. Okay, not bad. Just looked like you're in the fast heat. And Zach is saying, I'm trying to sprint instead of bounding. Okay, well, let me watch you real quick. I like what you're saying though, because you are a bit boundy, and so I think overall you're pretty good. I wish you didn't hit that last hurdle and this one too. Darn it, you hit the last two hurdles and the other ones where you're close, but you hit it on the way down. Wait, okay, you hit it with your heel. See your ankle flip there, just barely. And then you hit it on the way down, but you wouldn't have hit it. It's because it was tipped. And that always messes up your form a little bit. And then you hit it again. So you might have a little bit of a tight hamstring and having a hard time extending your lead leg more. Also, you have your arms out just too straight. I like to keep them bent at 90 degrees, keep everything moving tighter. Also, see how your shoulders turned here? Try to keep your shoulders straight. So the advice that I just gave to Iya Shanita, the second person, is the same advice that I'm going to give you. Is if you're trying to learn to sprint between hurdles, the only way to learn how to do that is practicing sprinting between the hurdles. And the only way to practice sprinting between the hurdles is to pinch your hurdles closer together, lower it down a click, and learn to be very fast, very quick. Work on that turnover, right? Your rhythm. To be ta 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 ta, or ta 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 boom, ta 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 boom, ta 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 boom, right? And the boom is the going over the hurdles, and the ta 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 is your foot very quickly striking the ground. Get good at that, and then you'll be able to gradually spread the hurdles out, and then eventually you'll be able to do it in a race. And with any boy I coach, if you can do this at one click down, so 36 inches, and pinching the spacing by about a foot, if you build up to where you can do that at practice, that's the way I would practice, and then you'd be able to go into a meet and race really, really well. I think that's where you're at right now. Okay. I am going to do a few things. Real quick. Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to bounce out and see if I have any questions. Okay. So, hey coach, I'm a first-year track coach. Awesome. I've been learning from you to help coach my two hurdlers. Do you have any workout plans for the off season, like speed? Coach, it's like I paid you to ask this question. Literally yesterday, just yesterday, I put out on my website a off-season hurdle training plan. Okay, and it's pretty solid. And so go there and download it for free. Tomorrow I'm putting out I haven't promoted it yet. Tomorrow I'm putting out a video called Off-Season Hurdle Training, where I'm going to discuss the concept and then encourage people to download my training plan. So it's there. My girl hurdler went from 19.3 to 16.9 in the 100 hurdles. That's great. And 53 to a 48. That's even more impressive in the 300 hurdles. She's motivated to be better, and I want to help her reach her goals. Well, I can tell you right now, she's lucky to have you as a coach. The type of coach who is willing to put in the extra time and effort to find solutions to help your athlete. I really admire that. I heard today, two today. One is from somebody I did a session with recently, whose hurdler, after I did a virtual session with them, just ran a 15-1 in the 100-meter hurdles and qualified for the state finals. I'm super excited about that. And another one who just told me that his daughter, through my advice, almost qualified for the state. Actually, yeah. I take that back. She won state in the 300 hurdles. So super exciting. I love the fact that I'm helping coaches help athletes. That is exactly what I'm trying to do here. Okay, so that's all the questions I have. I know I'm getting some emails all of a sudden, so something happened in response to this. But so folks, let me bounce out real quick, get off this ugliness. Okay, so if you want me to review your video, you got two options. One option is you do what these people did, which you submit it for a free review, and you have the chance of being selected to be on this next week, okay? And just so you'll know, quality of video is really important. The reason why is oftentimes I use these videos to make my videos. And I need my editor says these are not good videos, so I need good videos. Because other videos on YouTube are athletes or coaches who are at the track with their athletes, and my coaching is here. I'm sitting at a desk coaching people, so I'm not always at the track filming athletes to get footage like that. So I rely on stuff you send me, so it's a win-win. So I'm choosing people who are sending me good videos. So good quality video and really clear, good angles. If you're in a race and there's a bunch of people in front of you or you're far away, it's decreasing your chance of being selected. But also know that the better way for me to help you is through a virtual coaching session, okay? Because that's guaranteed to get reviewed usually within 24 hours. So, and a much better job than I'm doing here. And also know there's other ways that I can help you with my hurdling 101, 201, 301. Those are instructional videos. And I do have a hurdle training plan, which is all the workouts you need to get you through a season, from beginning of the season to the end of the season, all on my website, okay? So that's it. I hope that you learned a lot. Until next week, Coach Caton out.